Assalamualaikum. Selamat Hari Raya semua. Okay, so as usual, we are going to continue with our next chapter. So go to this files tab again and wait for it. My internet is quite slow. Go to the class material. So today we are going to go on to this chapter, chapter 5, function. Okay, we will go this both two slide. Okay, so let's go to this slide first. All right. Okay. So before we start, we have everything here. Include stream, stream. Sorry. Okay. C. And we have our integer main function. That's it. Okay. So before we start with the function, let's look back on all that have we already learned before. So the first one is very important one is the variable. So as usual, if we create a variable, let's say I have a variable name. Okay. So first we need to put the data type. So most of the time, this name will hold the group of characters. So I have char. Okay. Okay, so when we declaring char name here, what we have is the computer will automatically create a variable and put this name into the memories, okay, in RAM. Okay, so let's say I said that my name is A. So what happened is this A value will start in name. Okay, so please notice that I didn't put the full name here as our name variable is just a variable, not an array. So it can only hold one character. So that's why I just save A here. Okay, so char name A. So means that this name will be stored in the memories in RAM. So in RAM they have an address name. Okay, so that name has an A character in it. Okay, it's very easy one, right? Okay, so the next one is we learn about char name. Okay, so let's say I have 10 here. Okay, so now this one is variable and this one is, we can call it also a variable, but this is a variable with a type of array. Okay, as we have here. So this symbol, this square bracket means that this name is an array. So what it means is later on, okay, that I put here, later on we will have name 0, name 1, and so on up to name 9. Okay, so actually this array just the computer will automatically create uh 10 elements. Okay, 10 element of name. So start from name 0 up to name 9. So this name is acting like this variable. So means that name 0 will hold one character. Okay, B, let's say. Okay, so one is I. Okay, so by grouping all of these 10 element, it will be called as this name. All right. Okay, so that's it. This one we already done this on previous lecture, right? So I hope you still remember this. Okay, so let's delete. So now what we have next is this one, char name and this. Okay, so we have a third. The third, we cannot call it as a variable anymore. So this identifier is for function. So this is what our topic about. Okay, our topic is function. So what is function? This is a function, one of the function. So how to identify that is just see this symbol. Okay, after we have our identifier, we have, if we have this bracket, just simple round bracket means that this is a function. Okay, it's easy. This is a variable, this is an array variable, and this is function. Okay, so this the function of both of variable and array is quite similar, but for the function here is quite different. Okay, so let's go in it. Let's go back to our slide. Okay, so for the objective, actually we will learn on the type of the function. Okay, and function declaration and function definition. So this is the new one. Okay, now we have declaration and definition. Before this, for variable we only have declaration, okay, and assignment. Okay, but now we have declaration and definition. So this is the new one. So the function call and return value. So this is we will learn on it after this, and we have local and global variables. Okay, so before this we only look at on the local variable, but actually I think I already told you about the global variable before in class. Okay, before our PKP. All right. So why function? So the use of function follows the method of a structured procedural programming approach. So you can see the structured and procedural programming approach in slide chapter 1, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, we can see about, but still, if you didn't quite understand about that, you can just follow these videos. Okay, so for this slide, I would like to skip much more on it, and I'm going to go directly to the main thing. Okay, what is the function? Okay, one and only one of which must be named main. Okay, this main, if you can see here, okay, see, this is the identifier and this is the round bracket. So as I told you before, if there is a round bracket, means that this one is a function. So is integer main is a function? The answer is yes. Main is the function, but this is very special function where the computer will know about this. And during the first run of every program, the computer will trying to find this function. Okay, so that's why we cannot use or create another function that have the same name with main. Okay, all right. Okay, the purpose of the function is to receive 0 or more pieces of data. Okay, later on we can see this. Okay, so this is an example of if we have a several function in the main function. Okay, so this is the main function, our main program. So we can have several function in this main function, and we can also have another function in this function. Okay, we can have that. And we can also call the same function. Let's see here, function A has been called in function 1, and function A also called in function 3. So it's possible. Okay, right. Okay, a function of C++ can have value, a side effect, or both. Okay, so this you can read, and I would like to explain it later on. Okay, this is example for if you want to imagine what is the function. Okay, so the function is like this box. Okay, where it has an input and it has an output. Okay, just like our main program. Okay, but this is we can call it as a sub program. So that's why we have a function here. Okay, means that this box will have some input go in it, and it can produce a side effect for every input here and produce another output, and make sure that, okay, you can see here, the input can be 0 or more. So means it can be 0, no input, 1 input, 2 input, 3 input, and up to so many input. But uh, at the end of this, you can have no input or up to 1 input. So it's either 0 or 1 input. Okay, so I will tell you later on. Okay, type of function, we have predefined function and we have user defined function. So this predefined function, actually you already seen this. Okay, for an example, include math, C math. Okay, So this function, I already told you in some of the example in chapter 2, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, in chapter 2, some of the example have using this function, okay, power function. So this we call it as a predefined function. Why? Because the power function we didn't write it from the scratch. We grab this function from the CMath library. Okay, so that's why when we want to use this power function, square root function, or flower function, we need to include this CMath. So it's very easy, just include here. Okay, include CMath. Okay, so by doing this, you can directly call any function in this CMath library. Okay, so this is the list of the function that will have been declared in CMath. Okay, so in CMath we didn't only have our power, square root, and that flower function, but we also flower function. Okay, so we can also have log tan. We have sinus. We have tangent. We have everything. Okay. So if you want to look at on any other function that include in CMath, you can just Google it. Okay. But the most thing that we always use is only this function. Okay. So that is predefined function. So just include it and then just call it. Very easy. Okay, let's look at on this. Okay, we already goes on this. So let's say power xy. So x is okay. The explanation is x raised to the power of y. So if we have 7 means that it will return of the value of the 2 the power of 7. So the answer is 128. Okay, 9 to the power of half. So means that it's a square root. So that's why we have 3. Okay, so this is what pow xy about. All right, so that is predefined function. So what are we going to do today is we are going to have our own function. That's why we call it as a user-defined function. It has 3 parts. The first one is function declaration, and then we have function definition, and the last one is a function call. Okay, so function, declaration, definition, call, or we might call it as an invocation. Right, so you can go on all of this slide to have much more understanding, but I would like to directly go to the example. Okay, okay, so let's look at on this program. Okay, hello world. Let's go back to the hello world function. See out um my name is Muhammad Salihin Sailat. Okay, and let's say I put other things. I am 20 years old. I am, yes, I am. Okay, and see I love food. Okay, so let's say I have this kind of program. So let's compile and name it as function. Okay, so if I run this, it will return with all of the string that I would like the computer to display. Okay, very easy one. So the function is it make your job much more easier. Okay, so the function first, let's we have a declaration. Void myself. Okay, and void myself again. Okay, okay, compile it. So this is what we call, okay, let's go back here. Okay, this is our programs. And if you notice that the content of this program has been transferred into this function. So this is main function. Okay, this is main function. This is my user-defined function that I created, which is called as myself. So this is identifier. You can use any identifier as you want, as long as you refer to the three rules that we have already learned on chapter 2, right? Okay. So see, this is function, main function. This is myself function. Okay. So why we have two void myself here? Okay. First, in order to create our own function, you need to declare first. So this is declaration. Okay. Function declaration. Okay. Function declaration. So it's like our before integer I, integer age, okay, integer what else? Sum, etc. So this is declaration of our variable as an integer. So it same goes with the function. We need to declare first. Okay. So we need to declare first. Most of the time, we will going to declare all the function before integer main. So that's why I have here myself with the type of function, and the data type is void. So why void? I will tell you later on. Okay. So this is the declaration. Okay. Very easy. Quite you understand, right? And now, outside of this main, I have another function. It's quite similar. The difference is the name. Okay. So name, but now this function consists of all of my program just now. Right. Okay. So this one, we call it as function definition. Okay. So here is, we write all the program that we want in this function. Okay. So just proceed. Okay. So now what you are going need to do here is just to call back the function. So how to call it? Very easy. Just type myself and that's it. Oh, sorry. Myself here. That's it. And if I run this program, there is no error. And if I run it back, see, it's return the same output as before. So what it do is, this is what we call as function calling. So what happen is, the computer will never go to other function during running, during execution. The computer will automatically find this main function. So in this main function, fortunately, we call this function. So do the computer know this function? Yes, this function has been declared as a function here. So that's why the computer know. Next, the computer will finding where is this function. So this function is right here in 12. Right. So what happened is, from this point, computer directly jump to myself and then do everything in the bracket. So that's why when I'm running the program, what happened is, all of the code in here is being called. Okay. Okay. Do you understand? Okay. Let's say I have here C out. Okay. And line first. Selamat Hari Raya. Selamat Hari Raya. Okay. Okay. So what happened is, let's see. First, it will go to myself and run everything in the bracket. Okay, my name, I am 30 years old. I love food. And then after it's finished up this function, it will directly go back to the previous state. So which is the next line, line 10. So line 10, told the computer to display Selamat Hari Raya. So that's why we have Selamat Hari Raya here. Okay. So as usual, the computer will go line by line. If I put it in here, sorry, home, oops, see out. Okay. So I put in here. Now Selamat Hari Raya will be display first. Okay. So it's just following the step by step, okay, line by line as usual. The difference now is instead of it just going in this function, in this only main function, now it's go jump here and then go back here. Okay, so that is the function, right? Okay. Oops. Okay. So, so okay. What else? What else? What else? Okay. Let's go on why I call it as a void. Okay. Void means this function didn't bring any value, any return value. So what is return value? See, this myself will not returning any value. So let's say, okay, let's say I have integer i equals to 9. So let's say myself, okay, let's say I set I equals to myself. Okay, and then I call out I. Okay. See, the void value not as it ought to be. Okay, so means that what this array tell us is this myself didn't bring any value. Okay, it's different with what it do here. Okay, how can I explain it much more easier? Okay, you just imagine like this. Every time the computer see this function, okay, the computer will directly go back, go to this myself function and do everything. Okay, so what this is what function calling about. Okay, for returning value, okay, it's like this. Let's say I have this integer j equals to 9, and then I have let's say we use the CMath there. um, Integer, oh maybe I can just use, okay, integer j equal to 9, and then I have k. Okay, or maybe I use power. Okay, so let's say power is integer, but now power is equal to power j2. So as you know that when you run this myself, okay, when you run this myself, what happen is the computer will automatically run everything in here. So it will display this line, display this line, and then it will declare our j's and store the 9 value in j's and declare the power. And now it has a power equals to power gen 2. Okay, means that our j is 9, so 9 power of 2 will be returned of value of 81, right? Okay, so here, so the difference is if I would like to display our output there, I just need to put C out power, right? So what happened is after displaying this line, displaying this line, after that it will displaying the value of power, which is 81. Okay, so let's compile this. Okay, okay, so this is Selamat Hari Raya here. This is myself, means that it will print out this line, and also the power of 9 power of 2, which is the answer is 81. So where is 9? 9 is because of this line, C out and line I. Okay, so I is currently is 9. So it's different with here because this is, we call it as a local variable. We cannot call it in here. Okay. All right. So you can understand this. Okay. So if you want to print every content in this function, you need to write it down in here. But what if you want to bring this value 81, the answer of the power, in here? Okay, let's say I would like to display the value of power. Okay, the value of, and maybe I use the same name, powers. Okay, not power, powers plus I. So the idea is now I would like to bring the output here, which is 81, into the main function. So you see here, the value now here, I'm going to use it in this main function outside of this myself function. Okay. To do that, I need to bring this power value together with the function. Okay. Okay. If you not understand, let's say I delete it back. Oops, sorry. Okay. So let's say after that I just want to see out power. Let's say. Okay. So let's say the idea is the power here is 81, has been running after myself here. I would like to call back that power. Okay. If you compile this, it will return you with an error. The power was not declared in the scope. Because this power is not declared. See here, it has been declared in this function myself. So this power value, okay, this power variable is only recognized in this myself function only. That's why we call it as a local variable. So we cannot directly call it like this. So there are several ways. The more easiest ways is we using the global variable, but I'm not going to do that right now. So let's look at on how can we bring this value of power together with the function. Okay, so now we can use it like this. So now I would like this myself, instead of just bring nothing, but now I would like to bring power. So the power value is an integer. So I just change this into integer, and I need to change it together. So in declaration, we change it to integer, and also this one is changed into integer myself. So what happened now? I can return power. Okay. So this statement here, what happened is at the end of this line, the power is 81. So return power means the value of power, which is 81, will be returned to myself. Okay. So now I can have power here, and then power equals to myself. Okay. See here. So let's say I want to delete this line. So now in this program, just calculate what is power. Okay, what is power, and this line. Okay, all right. Only calculate and didn't write anything about what is power. Okay, but now I can use this value as this 81. The power value has been written to myself. Now our myself here, instead of bring nothing, but now it's bring what it's written. Okay, so in this case it will bring 81 together. So myself here will be equal to 81. So means that our power will be also as a will be also have a value of 31. Okay, so now let's see here. When we compile, there is no error because power has been declared here, and power. Okay, so now you can see. Okay, this 81 is come from this cout. Okay, where this us to to display what is the value of power. So this power is different with this power. Okay, this power is this power. Okay, so this power is the value of myself, any written value of myself. So this myself have written value of power. Okay, if you still confusing about this, let's say I change it to powers. Okay, so powers. Okay, so these powers is totally different with this power, right? So this is power, this is powers. They are not related. But when I run this, it can also return the value of 81. Okay, just because of this written power, this written statement, return the value into myself, and I can write equation like this. Okay, so I hope we understand that. All right, so it can also have other data type. We can have float. Okay, you can have float. You can have float. So it's depend. Okay, let's say your power equals to here, and let's say this is float. Okay, the power now you want to divide by 2 and it will return the power. So 81 divided by 2, you will have 40 40 what? Sorry, 40.6, 40.5. Okay, so the value of 40.5 will be returned to myself. Okay, so the myself 40.1. So here also we need to change back to the float. So the powers will also have 40.5 values. You can add it, and you have this answer 40.5. Okay, as simple as that. All right, so now you already go we already done for void, integer, and float, and also similar with character and so on. Okay, you can also have this character myself. Okay, this character myself, other character, and we can have power a character. Okay, you can change it to character and so on. I didn't want to do that example right now. Okay, I think I think that is one of good exercise for you. So I hope that you will try to create your own function that will bring or return the value of character data type. Can you? Okay, so let's go back to the slide. Okay, I think as we already go on to the basic of what is the function, what is the function declaration, function definition, and function calling. So let's look at on this much more, I think, much more complicated example. Okay, here. Let's say we have this kind of this is our example. Okay, include IO stream using a standard. It's very easy. Okay, now this is what I call it. Okay. Oh, this example uh I didn't show you before. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do the new example. Okay, so let's say I would like to create my own function that can add numbers. Okay, summation. So let's say I have integer sum function. Okay, so this is declaration. Okay, and then this is the definition. Okay, sum. Okay, definition must be like this. Okay, similar with our main here. Okay, definition. Okay, let's say I have integer a and b. Okay, so I have in a, b. Okay, and I call sum. Okay, Okay, first, let's say I declare a value, an integer of a and b. Okay, so a is an integer, b and also an integer. And then I have c in a and b, means that the user will need to give an input, two numbers, okay, two numbers of input into this cin line. So means that the first number will be stored in a and the second number will be stored in b. So let's having this instruction to make the program much more readable. Okay, please insert two numbers. All right. Okay. Okay. So this is display present this number, and then the user will be give an input. Okay. So let's say I would like to total up both input and display it. Okay. Before this, what we are doing is just cout a plus b, right? Right. Okay. Cout a plus b. So what happen if the user give 1 and 2, means that the output here is a plus b is 3. Right. Okay. So let's make this okay, it's empty, so let having this only this function first. Okay, so if I put 5 and 3, so the answer is 8. Okay, see out a plus b is 8. Okay, or maybe I can put some, the sum is okay, is much more readable. A and B, okay, and it back. So, oh, sorry for that. Okay, okay, let's say we have 6 and 3. So the sum is 9. Okay, so you understand our basic program here. But now I would like to change, instead of write the function here, write the operation here, I would like to have my own function. Okay, so I can have this operation in here. Okay, okay, I plus j. All right. Okay. So how? Okay. First, you see here, our function is here, our input is here. So the input is in main function. So first, we need to bring this both function. Sorry, this both input a and b into this function. So as we know that our integer here, our variable here, will cannot be recognized in summation function here, right? Because it's a local variable for main. So a and b can only be used in main. So we cannot bring this number into a different function. So but we can do it like this. Okay, we can do like this. Okay, let's say I would like to, okay, I put here lah, to make things much more easy. Sum, I can have like this, A and B. Okay. Before this, previously, we just type the identifier of our function name and just the bracket, right? But now, in the bracket, I put some variable. Okay. Why I doing this? By doing like this, I can bring what the content of A and the content of B into this function, even though that this function is different with this function. Okay. So here, what I need to type is just integer I, integer j. Okay. So it's like this. When I writing our function sum here, and the content in the bracket is integer I and integer j, now the computer will understand, see, here and here. Okay. This a value will be bring into this I, and this b value will be brought into this j value. Okay. So as I and j is declared in some value, now I can have this value, this operation. So now the computer will know what is I and what is j. So this I value is depend on the value, what is the A value here. The j value here is depend on here, which is depend on this value here. So this value is depend on what the user give input here. Understand? Okay. So now what I need to do is just return I plus j. Okay. See, what happened is the process here, it will return any numbers. Okay. The summation of any numbers here, it will be returned to the sum. Okay. So now this sum automatically holding the total number of these both numbers. All right. So we can delete this and just type in here sum A B. See? So here, what happened is it will go see out the sum is, and then it will display the value of sum AB, which is the value of sum AB is the value of any return value here. So the return value is I plus j. So where is I plus j? Is getting from this I and j. So this I and j is getting from this A and B. Okay, respectively. All right. Make sure the order is correct. Okay. So now let's write this one. Too many argument. Okay, sorry for that. Another thing we forgot to mention. Okay, as our definition here has this integer I and integer j. The declaration here we need to put also integer I and integer j. Or maybe you can just declare it as integer. It's still understandable. But for at this moment, just write everything similar with what we're having here. Okay. So actually you just need to copy everything and put here and put the semicolon. And then you are good to go. Okay. So now everything will going well. I hope. First number 4 and second number 6. The sum is 10. See? 4 and 6. So A is 4, B is 6. So this is 4, this is 6. A have been brought, the 4 value have been brought into I, and the 6 value of B brought into J, and then I plus J. 4 plus 6 equals to 10. So it will return value of 10 into the sum. So that's why this sum value here will consist of the value of 10. So that's why the final answer will be display the value of the sum. Okay, simple as that. All right. So let's look at on this example. Okay, now the difference is we have, okay, there's no different. Okay, we have this max function, and it has two integer. Okay, so if you want to make sure it's similar with the definition, we can go here. So this is our main function, start from here up to here, and then we have another function. So just assume that this function has been written under the main function. Okay, so the definition here is similar with definition here. See, we have two integer here because it would like to bring two integer from the main function into this max function. Okay, you can also type here num1 and num2 if you want to. Okay, all right. So let's look at on the main function. First, integer I equals to 5, integer j equals to 2. So integer k equals to max ij. So what happened is I is 5 and j is 2 has been brought into this num1 and num2. So I equals to num1, j equals to num2. So num1 is 5, num2 is 2. So let's jump to this function. Let's go to this function. First, this function declare a variable of the result variable. Okay, and it have a if statement. So if the numbers, the num1 is larger than num2, result equal to num1, else result equal to num2. Okay, so this is actually just a selection function. What it will do is it will store the result value with the biggest number. So if the num1 is bigger than num2, the result will hold the num1 value. But else means that num2 is much more bigger. So num2 will be stored in result. So this is very easy selection statement. And then what happen next is return results. Mean any result here, either one result, either number here will be returned to this function. Okay, so that's why the result here is depend on what is num1 and what is num2, and it will return to here. Okay, and it will return to here and it's stored into k. So if the program says see out the maximum between the number of I and number of j is k. So now our case is 5 and our j is 2. So 5 is num1, 2 is num2. So we can see that this statement will be true. So our result will be stored with the value of num1, which is 5. So this result will hold the 5 value. So then this 5 value will be bring together with this function. So here is 5. Okay. So now k will be also 5. So that's why this statement will return of the maximum value between 5 and j and 2 is 5. That's it. Okay. So you can go trace back. Okay, see here. This is explanation. Okay. Visual explanation, I think, is very clearly shown in this slide, and you can go through that. Okay. All right. Okay, next, I think just just look at on the example. Okay, local variable. All right. So in this example, it's very good example. Okay. So let's look at on this function. Okay. See, 4 is also a predefined function. Okay. 4. See, 4 and we have bracket. 4 and we have bracket, and in this bracket we have several argument here. Okay. So this is legal. Why this is legal? Because it's legal to declare two non-nesting blocks. Okay, we can declare this both into non-nesting. Non-nesting means that this 4 is different with this 4. Okay, but let's say here, this 4 is in this function. Okay, we already declare I here. Now in 4 function, actually you doesn't need to write again the integer, the declaration process here. You just, maybe you can just directly for I. Okay, doesn't need to declare it again. Okay, if you declare this again, it is illegal and it will return an error. Okay, because it sees that you want to declare the same variable twice. Okay, you declare here and you declare here, even though that the value is similar, but the computer will return an error. Okay, but there is no problem in here, because here you see there is no declaration of I. So, and the declaration of I is only have been done here. So when we declare in here, means that this I only be recognized in this loop only. And if you use another loop and you want to use another I, you need to declare it again. Okay, and it's very legal. Okay, see. Right. And next is global variable. Okay, global variable is quite easy. Global variable is like this. So let's say we have, please insert to number the sum. Okay, I would like to put the sum of both numbers plus plus third, okay, plus c. Okay, equal to, okay, I would like to have another integer here, c. Okay, What can change it? Okay, so I can have like this: sum plus C. Okay, so now the difference is I would like to sum A and B. Okay, okay, let's continue. Okay, where are we? Okay, let's say I would like to add another variable here. Okay, so if I say that C is equal to 9 here, okay, so what happens is it will sum up both A and B and then plus with the C, right? It's very, it's very direct. Okay, so let's say I have 5 and I have 5. So the answer is 19 because 5 plus 5 is 10 and then add another C which is 9 is we will return with 19. So what if what if I would like to put the plus C in here? Okay, plus C. Okay, so let's say I would like to, okay, see, let's see as 9 as before. Okay, so let's see if I would like to process everything, the summation in here, in this sum function. Okay, so the easiest way is if I would like to bring another variable in main function to sum function, actually we can just have another integer k, right? And then k, so I just need to put here c, right? So now our a will be go here, A will be go here, B will be go here, and the C equals to 9 here will be go as a K. So everything will be as usual. Okay. But I can also do it like this. Okay. So let's say I would like to use this C. Okay, this C variable. So as you can see here, I cannot use it because the C is in this main function. So what I can do is I can just declare it as global variable integer c equals to 9. Okay, so now if I compile this one, sorry, I already delete this. So AB only 2. Okay, and now if I compile this, it will be written with no error. Okay, if I add again 5 and 5, and the answer will also 90. Okay, see how can it having like that? Because this C now has been declared outside of this main and outside of this sum. So means that this we call it as a global variable. Okay. So by having this global variable, this C can be called in here and also in here. So there is no problem for that. So it's up to you how you design your programs. Okay, you can have everything as a global variable, or we can using this kind of programs and anything. Okay, it's up to you. Okay, all right. So next, that is global variable. Okay, another thing is static. Okay, static local variable. Okay, static is the new one. Okay, so let's say after a function complete its execution, all its local variable are destroyed. Okay, sometimes it is desirable to retain the value stored in local variables so that they can be used in the next call. C++ allow you to declare static local variables. So this static local variable you can look at on this example. Okay, so the difference is now our integer, let's say this, our integer x now, x equals to 1, has been declared as static local variable. So what happened is, see the answer here. Okay, let's go from the start. Void t1, so we have our void t1, which is just a void function. And this main function call this t1 twice. Okay, so let's say for the first one, t1 equals to, okay, this is function t1, x equals to 1, y equals to 1. So x plus plus, y plus plus. So if the original is 1, 1, when we display what is the x and y, we will have 2, 2, right? Because the original is 1 plus plus equals to 2. Y is also 2. Okay. See, what is different with the static here? If I call this function again, what happened is the answer here now is 3. Why? Why the x is 3? Because this static will ask the value in x here to hold the previous value. So let's say the previous one is x plus plus. So now our x become 2. Even though that it has written to main, the x still 2. Okay. So you can see here, the y is not a static local variable. So that's why the y will return 2. Means that when it's run again this function, t1 function, the y will return back with the value of 1. Okay, but not the case for this x. Even though the x is declared as 1, but it is static local variable. So as before it has been called, the x has been plus plus by 1. So means that the current value is 2. So that's why this instruction return the value of 3 and 2. So if we call again T1, 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 so the value of y will maintain 2, but the x will increase to 3, 4, 5, and so on. So that is static. Okay. So you might not use it in most of the cases, but it's very useful. Okay. So let's see, when static is not used, you can see that the output is similar. Okay. It's very good example. So this is for the part 1. So let's take 5 minutes break and let's see you later.
1 hour later.
Okay guys, let's continue with part 2. Okay, here. Function part 2. This part 2 is quite tricky, but if you understand very good in the part 1, it must not bring any confusion. Okay, because now we were going to learn on what is this pass by value and pass by reference. Okay, let's go to the example, directly to the example. If I explain what it is about, it might be confusing. So just let's directly to the example. Okay, include iostream. Okay, void fun. So now we have void fun. Okay, we have function here, fun, which will be whole variable. Okay, variable x. So this function is x equal x plus 3. So x is depend on what is this x, and this x is depend on what is the value that will be bring here in main function. So integer a equals to 5, see out a, so means that it will display 5 lah here. Okay, fun a, so means that this a 5 will be bring in here, right? So 5. So 5 plus 3 equals to 8. So our new x is 8. So return. So return, just return, right return is also bring the value of the last operation here. Okay, it's similar with the just type return x. Okay. Alright, so now this fun, okay, so sorry, this is void, so it will return nothing. Okay, so let's look back. Okay, see out equals to a to 0. Okay, this is a good one. Okay, this is a void function, so even though that this is a calculation, it will return nothing because void will return nothing. So what happened is a is 5. After fun a is still 5. Okay. Alright. You might not see what is this program purpose. This is just showing the passing variable by values. Okay, passing variable by values is actually this a value 5 is directly copied into x. So means that the a will be always 5 as long as we didn't change here. Even though the a here 5, okay, we can see here x is equal to a. Okay, so X is might be equal to A, but A is not equal to X. Okay, it's just a copy of A. Okay, remember, X is equal to A, but A is not equal to X. Okay, you remember that. So that's why A will be still 5. Even though we call function A here, the X has been changes. Okay, X has been from 5 changed into 8. Okay, but different if we are using passing variable by reference. By reference, if you look at on this example here, see, the different now, we have a n symbol here. N symbol here. The instruction, the program is similar like the previous one. Okay, it's just called the A value. So the previous one, A equals to 5. If you print out what is A, it will return 5. And after the fun A, if we call back A is also 5. But now the A is 8. Why? Okay, see, the value, the program is very similar. The difference is only this. Now the integer is the void find is not integer x, but it's fun integer nx. So this n means so much in this program. Okay, now a, okay, x is not sorry, x is equal with a. Okay, but this n value means that how can I explain this much more easier? Actually, this n is more on pointing to the address. Okay, so now the x will change the address of a. Okay, so what happened is any changes in x will also changing the value of a. Okay, previous one here, x integer x, so means this x just copy the value of a in here, but the a will doing nothing happen even though that the x has been changes. But now when we have this n symbol, so this x and this a value is related directly. So originally the x is equals to a, which is 5, but now after this function our x become 8. When x change into 8, the a also change into 8. Okay, so that's why the answer here is 8. So that's what we call as pass by reference. Okay, how to do that? Just add this x and this n symbol. Okay, and also this is up to your programming. So if you like to change or you want to directly relate these both variable, you can use this pass by reference. Okay, so I hope that you can understand this pass by reference and pass by value, because most of the program in finals, lab tests, theory tests will be asking you about this kind of function. All right. And what else? Okay, this is the explanation. It's very good explanation. You can read it down. Pass by value is a copy of data is created and placed in local variable. Ensure that regardless on how the data is manipulated and changed in the call function, the original data calling are safe and unchanged. Okay, that is pass by value. But by pass by reference, by adding address operator, it will change both data, both calling data and the original data. Okay, so that's it. Function part 2. That's all. Okay, so I hope that you can greatly understand this function, because this function topic will be used in most of the programs. Okay, it's very popular one because it's very it's make your program much more simpler. Okay, let's say you would like to calculate the maybe what can I say then? Okay, let's look at on the function for the power. Okay, before this, if you would like to have the power function, okay, okay, let's say I have integer I, okay, if I would like to uh, display I the power of 2, I need to write down this I, right? So this is the power of 2. So if I call it again, I would like to process it again. I need to have another I multiplied by I. Okay. And if I have J and I want to cube it, right? Okay. I need to J multiplied by J multiplied by J. Okay. Okay. So here, maybe because of this equation is easier, it seems like it's okay lah to write down like this. But it's much more better if we generalize everything. So that's why we using function. So let's say I would like to square the I. So what I need to do is just I squared. Okay. And if I would like to cube the J, what I need to do is just power J cube. Okay. So if I would like to have another power of 17 and everything, it doesn't need to write down manually like this and counting everything. Okay, I just need to write the number here, the power of 19. See, it's as simple as this. Okay, so this is the purpose of function. So this is predefined function. So see, this is very useful and it's much more easy to read. Okay, so it's much more very powerful for the function that have several line of statement. Okay, so you can just write down everything. Okay, okay. Let's say I would like to very okay. Let's return back to our here. See, okay. So in integer main, what it do is just calling this myself function, and myself function consists of 3 line of instruction. Okay, so I can do it like this myself. Okay, and I can repeat it all over again. Okay, so now if I run this, so I can have everything repeated. Okay, see, without need to write down everything, copy paste, and make the main program much more tedious. Okay, by using this one, this kind of function, I can create my special function and which is will doing some task, and then in main function I just call it. Okay, so this is the purpose of function and it's very useful. And I hope that you can understand this and use this in your assignment and any tasks, okay, assignment, tests, lab tests, and everything. So I hope that you're using this. Okay, it's very useful. Okay, I think that's all for today. It's quite a long lecture actually, and I hope you understand everything. And you can just drop a comment if you have any question, or maybe you can chat with me using this Microsoft Teams software. Okay, so that's all for today. Thanks again and selamat hari raya. Okay, untuk yang Islam jangan lupa kita puasa 6 lah. Berpuasa 6 hari pada bulan Syawal bersamaan dengan berpuasa sepanjang tahun. Kan? Okay. Okay. Goodbye. Assalamualaikum.